Okay, please remember to have eye contact when you're speaking and you're listening. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, now let's evaluate together, okay? Whoever was speaking, did the other person listen? Did they listen? Did they have eye contact?
Yes.
Okay. What gave you that feeling? How did you know? How were you aware?
She's listening attentively, okay? And I feel her heart is very,
Is your mic turned on? Look at the bottom. Yeah, okay.
Okay. And she has very good heart. That's why I feel her heart, very kindness, loving kindness. That's why I just say whatever in my heart, talk to her, and I feel she is so nice.
It's lovely. Yeah. Lovely. Okay. And your group? Okay. Did your listener have eye contact? Was his body language?
Yeah, he smiled a lot.
He smiled a lot. Did he interrupt when you were speaking?
Sometimes he asked. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes he asks because he's curious about my story.
Okay. Okay. So do you think that was productive listening, real listening?
I think he want to know more, and he just pop up the question in mind, and he just speak. It's
Okay.
normal conversation. Yeah.
Okay. So when you were speaking, and you were in flow of conversation, and Matt was very inquisitive. Did it affect your flow of conversation and your mind?
At that moment, I can continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. This group.
Yes, he was listening to me attentively. I know it because the way, like when we make eye contacts, I can see he was listening to me by his eyes, and he's nodding his head. And he didn't ask me follow-up question because that was the rule. But then I can feel that he like, by looking at in his eyes, I can feel that he's like, okay, continue, or like I'm listening to you. So it's very good listening. Yeah.
So you were aware of his non-verbal communication.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. Okay. Communicating effectively. This is ironic coming from me, but anyway. Usually the conversations, if they're intense, stories not only reveal the feelings of the speaker, but also the impact of the listener's emotions. Okay. And the quality of the relationship depends greatly on the communication between two people. Effective communication ensures mutual understanding, reduces conflict, and enhances emotional connection, making the relationship stronger and more fulfilling. During a conversation, each participant is both verbal and non-verbal, as we've just experienced, okay? Verbal communication conveys thoughts on the content, while non-verbal communication expresses emotions and the nature of the relationship. Right, does everybody understand that? Is there anything that you don't understand in what I've just said? Okay, can anybody explain what I've just said? Can anybody explain?
Maybe it's just a lot of information at once.
But he was speaking. He was speaking.
No. Maybe it's just a lot of information at once. Maybe you might just to repeat it one more time.
You want me to repeat?
Yes, yes, please.
Absolutely fine. I can do that. Would you like me to speak slower? No, it's fine. I like when you kind of.
No, that maybe just like every that was like two or three
Stop.
different definitions of things, right? Maybe at every one you just stop and then just ask everyone if you don't
Okay,
mind.
that's- I'm absolutely fine with that.
I think it's pretty simple, like to summarize, like both people are active in the conversation, even when we're not speaking. We're still communicating with our body language and with our expressions. And when we remain attentive to the other person, whether speaking or listening, we can build a deeper sense of emotional connection and reduce conflict. It's pretty much what he said, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Would you still like me to repeat it? Because I will. No. Okay, that's fine. It's okay to ask. Okay, it's fine. Okay, right. So what we're going to do, oh no, we're going to sing the song. Okay, the happy birthday song. So it goes, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Can I just finish what, can I just stop? Yeah, I was gonna.
And then you introduce people to practice mindful speaking using my happy birthday song.
Okay, that's fine, but in your manual, I put that later on. In your manual, it says twice, sing the happy birthday song just naturally, and then it goes on to review tranquil meditation, and then later on, it goes on to sing the happy birthday song again, introducing the breathing, and I have to show them how to do the breathing. So I don't know why it's in twice, but I'm following your manual.
Okay.
Okay.
You are right, but I mean that you can practice twice as in the manual, but let people know that there is a kind of mindful communication, listening and speaking, and then mindful speaking is quite difficult. So let's try first singing the song first time, and then try to sing applying awareness of breath, awareness of while you speaking, something like that.
So you would like me to repeat this section twice, because that's what you're asking. Okay, let's do it that way. Okay. So we're going to sing the happy birthday song, okay? But what I want you to do is to focus on your breathing, okay? So this has thrown me because in the manual it's completely different. So he's not even listening to me anyway. But anyway, so we're going to sing the happy birthday song. We're going to sing it twice. So this is the same thing that I was going to ask you to do later. So when you breathe in, happy birthday to you. When you're singing that, breathe in. And then when you sing happy birthday to you, breathe out. I will signal my hands. So when you breathe in, it's up, you breathe in. Out is down. Okay. And now the happy birthday song is happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay. All right. So does everybody understand that? Is that clear? You don't have to sing it if you feel uncomfortable. Just close your eyes and just listen. Okay. All right, so we'll do it after the sound of the bell. Right, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Breathe in. Happy birthday to you. Breathe out. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so that's the happy birthday song. Okay, all right. Shall we move on to reviewing meditation together? Shall we do the tranquil meditation? Is anybody having any struggles with it to date? Because we've done it many, many times. Is anybody struggling with it? Any problems? Any issues? No? Okay, all right. So let's, at the sound of my little singing bowl here, I'd like you to sit comfortably with your feet, if you can, grounded on the floor so you feel grounded, with your back up at the back of the chair. Okay, close your eyes. So I invite you to close your eyes and take 5 or 6 slow, deep breaths. Try noticing the area where you can feel the sensation of your breath. Is it more on the right or the left nostril? Whichever is the most prominent, this will be your chosen area. I now invite you to take a few more deep breaths, continuing to notice your normal breath in your chosen area. Observe your natural breath. There's no need to control it. And try not to think of any words or mantras that come into your mind. Simply and gently just breathe and quietly observe your breath. Whilst observing your breath, thoughts may occur in your mind. If you do notice these thoughts, try not to follow them, just be. And remember to be kind to yourself and return to your breath. If you do find that the thoughts have distracted you, I invite you to take 1 to 2 deep breaths and, when you're ready, return to observing your natural breath. If you feel sleepy, that's okay. It's a natural feeling. Just try and return back to your breath and straighten your back a little bit. Just move your posture a little bit. And maybe try and keep your feet grounded on the floor if you have your feet on the floor. And then when you're ready, return to your natural breath, breathing in and out. Your breath, your stomach, your tummy should be rising and falling. Now I invite you to shift your awareness to your body. Begin by keeping your eyes closed and focusing on your breath, the rising and the falling of your breath. At the same time, try and tune into your body sensations. Starting from the top of your head, observe sensations in each body part, moving step by step down to your feet. If you wish, you can break down each part into 3 sections for easier observation. Whilst doing this, you may notice sensations of heat, coolness, heaviness, lightness, tickling or tingling, pulsing, tightness or pressure, pain or numbness, or you might even feel moisture. Take a moment to pause between each sensation. If you encounter a strong or uncomfortable sensation, just simply pause and observe it for a minute without reacting. Keep your breath in focus, rising and falling, rising and falling. And then just notice how the sensation changes. If it becomes very unpleasant or too painful for you, concentrate primarily on your breath. So always return back to the breath. And once you've completed the body scan from head to foot, you can repeat the process, and we'll just I'll sit quietly for a while. Just acknowledge any external sounds that you can hear. Now stay aware of your breath whilst observing your thoughts. Don't stop thinking. Observe your thoughts that arise and name them. So when they come into your mind, just name them. It's okay, just name them. By naming and watching, you will see they will disappear by themselves. If another thought arises, label again and observe it just floating and fading away. Don't forget to be aware of your breath during this practice. Now let's sit quietly. I'll sit quietly and let's practice together for a few minutes. Just observing the external sound. Okay, we'll now move on to mental rehearsal. Please keep your eyes closed. I'd like you to visualize a difficult situation that has happened recently. Recall it by including the time, the place, the person, and also the gestures during the conversation. And as you are visualizing, please be aware of your breath. It's rising in the stomach, rising and falling, rising and falling. Observing any thoughts that arise and label them and notice that they will fade away. If any strong emotions come to the surface, that's absolutely fine. Just focus on these sensations for 1 minute and just simply observe how they change. Now start considering how you would like to show up if this situation were to happen again in the future. Imagine what could have thought, felt, said, or done. Okay. So just sit quietly and just meditate on your thoughts, please. And then try and imagine if thoughts arose again, what would you do? How would you be able to handle them? And perhaps if you can recall, if the situation happened again in the future, imagine what you could have thought, felt, said, or done instead. If you feel sleepy, just sit with your back upright. Just move your body position. Okay, now I invite you to slowly open your eyes. And if it helps, try and focus on one particular object and carry on with your breathing and the rising and falling, the rising and falling. Stay in focus on a particular object. Practice this by being aware of your breath. Okay, I'm bringing the meditation to a close. If you'd like to slowly open your eyes, please. And maybe you can move your shoulders around, move your body, stretch a little bit. Stretch a little bit. Okay, just get your body moving. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, now the mindfulness spell. We've gone over this before. Can anybody tell me the purpose of the mindfulness spell? Okay, do you have the microphone? No, it needs to be connected to the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
That means come back to the present moment.
Okay, and how could we use the mindfulness spell? How can we use it?
What do you mean how?
Okay, well, I would call this.
Yeah,
Okay, you can use an app. You can get it
sure.
on your app. That was
Yeah,
my question.
Exactly. There are many
Okay.
apps has this, right?
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, let's continue. Let's explore mindful communication. This involves focusing on our breath and while speaking and listening. Okay. Why do you think mindful listening is easier than mindful speaking? Can somebody else have a turn? Why do you think mindful listening is easier than mindful speaking?
Yeah, because during speaking, we need to aware what do we want to say, and it's not. For example, now I'm speaking, I not just partially aware my breath, also about the think about what next, and then I need to use a little bit energy for speak out. Compare with listening, we just partially be aware our breath, and we just listen. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else like to add to that?
Yeah, when we're
Thank you, Matt.
speaking, it's probably harder to focus on what's going on around you. Because your attention's primarily in the thought and then the speech is an act. So you have less attention capacity for external things. Whereas when we're listening, we can be aware of not only the feelings in the body, but like you say, partial awareness on the breath, the other person's mannerisms. I think depending on what we're talking about, it's easy to get caught up and just into the feeling and emotion behind the words rather than kind of focusing on pure communication.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Anybody else?
When we speak, it's like the process of exhaling, and then it's difficult to observe because we are speaking, and we can only pay partial. We can pay our awareness to our partial breathing when we don't speak, which is the interval. Then, like inhale, then at this time I can pay attention to the partial breathing. But as a listener, I can pay awareness to my breathing, partial breathing, inhale, exhale, both. So listening would be easier to be mindful than speaking.
Thank you. Thank you for that information, guys. Thank you. Yeah, mindful listening is easier as it requires just receiving information and observing our breath. Mindful speaking, however, is more challenging because it involves articulating our thoughts while maintaining breath awareness. And for some people, that can be quite difficult. Focusing on your inhalation can support this, can help this. Okay, now we go back to singing the happy birthday song, okay? But this time, what I want you to do is when we sing happy, I will demonstrate it for you. Excuse my singing, my voice, but I will demonstrate it for you. So when we sing happy birthday to you, you're breathing in. Okay. Happy birthday. Okay, so can somebody give me a suggestion how we can do that then, please? Because I'm following the script. Can somebody give me a suggestion? Okay, let's just sing happy birthday, okay? And then after each happy birthday, we just breathe in and then we breathe out. So we will sing happy birthday to you, breathe in, happy birthday to you, breathe out, and so on and so forth. Is that okay for everybody? Okay, so we're going to sing it again, right? Again, you don't have to sing it if you don't want to. I don't understand your instructions in your book, so I'm just trying my best here, okay? If you can help me on this.
The concept is that you are speaking is you need out breath to speak. So you just let people sing the song and observe that you can during speaking or singing you can only observe the in breathing, not the out, because the out breathing become your speech or your singing.
But they have to be breathing anyway to sing. So
in breathing,
what is the purpose of this? I don't understand.
If you remember from the first day of this program, we demonstrate that when people sing, you will use your out breathing to make a sound, either speed or singing. And then when you need to breathe as you speak, no? So by this way, in breathing will come now and then during your thinking or your speaking. So you need to awareness of your in breathing that happen now and then.
Okay, so let's sing the happy birthday song. Are you ready? I will sound the bell. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Slowly.
to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so did you all breathe well? Okay. How was it for you? How was your breathing while you were singing the happy birthday song?
I would say it's a little bit difficult to focus partially on breathing and partially singing because it's like, okay, do I breathe in, do I breathe out, and do I sing? So three things at once. It's harder than naturally. I guess it's come in practice. It's just need more practice.
Yeah, the first song was meant to be for you to sing naturally, and then we go back to realize it at this stage, and I was meant to incorporate the breathing. But you're right, you're correct. It is hard.
I also feel some difficult in mindful, like Carol asking the question, like mindfulness speaking is much harder, more difficult than listening, because sometimes when we speaking, it's difficult to feel the our breathing. So for me, share some experience. Like at the beginning, I will use my hand to do the handful so I can feel the breath out at that. And without it, breathing still keep mindfulness here. When I'm speaking, I feel the from my mouth the difference like that. But yeah, it's difficult. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe anyone would like to share some experience that help each other.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so on that one. On that one. Okay, now we're going to swap our role play. So those who were speaking first, give the other partner an opportunity to speak, and the other person listens. Okay, and remember your body language, your eye contact. Try not to interrupt while the other person's speaking, and just try and give them your full attention. Okay, is that doable? Okay, so I will sound the bell. So if you'd like to swap partners. Just again, you're sharing your challenging situations that you've had in the past week. Do it mindfully. We're in a mindful class, so please try and do it mindfully. Okay. So
listening and speaking.
Okay, so remember to do this mindfully. So that means being aware, mindful of your eye contact, be mindful of your breath, and be mindful of how you speak as well to the other person. And the other person try and be mindful of your listening skills. Okay, I will sound the bell again. coming to an end. Okay, carry on talking. Fine. Okay, so those who were speaking, were they aware that the person listening was listening mindfully? Were they listening mindfully with their eye contact, mindfully with their physical contact? Okay, let's start with this group here.
Yeah, I can feel that. And from the smile and the nodding, and the eye contact, I can feel that.
Okay, thank you, this group.
Yeah, I feel like I was listened to attentively. I feel like New's eyes already talking anyway. You're looking, I'm just like, I'm like, I feel like I'm having a conversation. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just talk to myself too much. But yeah, like she was engaged because I didn't know what to say. She was engaged, and I almost felt like her eyes were going, yep, yep, yep. Maybe she wants to get me to the next part of the conversation. But yeah, body language was open. You know, attention was on what I was saying. She seemed pretty relaxed. So yeah, I've mindfully listened to.
What effect did it have on you?
Well, the one effect that it always has is it makes us be more open. I think, you know, there's a lot of people hearing, but not many people listening these days. So you can kind of tell when someone's tuning out and it's like, well, why did you start the conversation if you don't want to listen? But when someone's actually listening, you're like, you can almost feel that the safety of like, okay, maybe I can share a bit more. And that's what kind of builds rapport and harmony between people, I suppose. So yeah, that's what I experienced.
Thank you. And can I just ask, did you understand his feelings? Did his feelings come across?
Yeah, when I listening his story, so because they're personal story, so I can feel and observe that experience. For example, it looks like I put myself in that case, so I can try to understand that feeling, and continue to listen to help him to share all that experience or difficult to have easy to relax more in mind. Yeah.
Okay. Did you find his sharing was it a difficult subject he was talking about?
Visa.
Oh, okay. Okay. And did you have empathy for him?
Yeah, because I have it too.
You bet. Because you've experienced it yourself. Okay, good. Would you like to share, please?
Yes, my partner was very attentive while I was talking. Yeah, he gave me like 100% eye contact, nodding all the time, and with some very friendly smiles, encouraging me keep talking. So there was a very supportive partner, as a very good listener.
And how did that make you feel? What did it have any impact on you?
Yes, I feel like I can be more open to tell him more and willing to share more. Yeah, without any hesitation.
Okay. And could you understand his feelings?
Yes, I can feel how he feel at that time when he was telling me the story.
And how do you think he felt?
Itchy.
Sorry?
Itchy.
Itchy.
Yeah, because he was
get
telling me like
mosquitoes, okay.
mosquito, all the insects he got, all the bites he got. So I was like, oh, I imagine myself having that. So like, oh.
And how did his feelings affect you?
I felt empathy for him because it's like if it's wormy, it's like I don't know how it's that's hard to deal with. He dealt with it for 10 days, so all the bites.
That's a long time, you poor thing. Okay, all right. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to open up the floor, as we say, to any experiences. Anybody wants to share anything about mindful communication? Would anybody like to share their experiences, either of this lesson or anything that's happened, conversations you've had externally? Would anybody like to share? Okay, so let's talk about the advantages of mindful communication. Okay, mindfulness helps us doing things with less distraction and emotional involvement. This is also true with mindful speech. When speaking mindfully, our speech is better organized and we are less emotionally involved. When we practice mindful listening, we better understand what is being said because we pay more attention and are less distracted by our own thoughts and our emotions if we're doing it mindfully. Additionally, we are less affected by the speaker's emotions, which help us remain calmer during our conversation, meaning if the speaker is offloading something that's really sensitive, sometimes people can actually take that on board without knowing, and it affects their being and their feelings as well. But if you're mindful about it, you can avoid this from happening, and you can simply just sit and listen. The same with when somebody's negatively going on about somebody else, or they did this, they did that, they did the other. You can literally withdraw yourself from that. Otherwise, the alternative is that you absorb what they're saying in a negative way, and then you become, it affects your being as well. Furthermore, practicing mindful communication improves our interactions, fostering deeper, more meaningful and positive connections between individuals. So that was in the manual, my part 1 to 4. Okay, would you like to do a quick meditation before I hand you over to Min, or would you just like to continue with Min? No, but I'm asking them, okay, can you go ahead? Do you want the mic?
Thank you for Carol's preparation and very lot of document prepare and also well organized for the pairing. And now I will continue to conduct the press. We have some document prepared for this part. I help to handle them. Thank you. I think many people go to toilet, so maybe we got a 2 to 3 minutes break first, okay? If anyone want to drink some. Okay. Okay, thank you for reminding. Okay. So just some brief explanation of this form. Like Carol we just talked about for the conversation, it contains 2 parts. One is verbal and one is non-verbal. So we can recalling the
challenge situation, maybe with a close friend that comes up frequently, again and again, involves negative emotions and usually result in a conflict. So you can recall the detail of this situation, including which words you often use. On the left side is for the verbal part, and for the left side is for the verbal part, and for the right side is for the non-verbal part. So we got 2 minutes to write a little bit on this form. Maybe if you difficult to find some close friend, also can think about some tiny things. Some tiny things just happened recently. Maybe like with your students. Yeah, some maybe. And maybe it's it's fine if maybe cannot find some conflict in relationship. Maybe just think about maybe you have some emotion or strong feeling during the recent time. At that moment, when maybe some automatically thoughts in your mind come again and again, that you can record that one. And also maybe when you are facing some challenging, then your normal non-verbal way to facing that, what will that be? So because of time, so maybe we got 1 minute left for the taking note. Okay. I don't want to rush you, but we maybe have some time conflict. So, do anyone maybe would like to share some feeling or some notes on this form, or some?
Which side? Do you want the left or the right side first? Left, okay. Mine was, I was speaking to somebody and verbally I said it was unacceptable, and I said lacking loyalty. It affected my non-verbal communication. My body became rigid and my eye contact was strong. So while I was speaking to them, I was very direct, but I could feel my body really tensing up because they were being disloyal. which is something I can't abide, disloyalty. Okay, anybody?
Thank you for share.
So I have the same kind of similar situation to you. When I talk to somebody that to arrange something, and as that person was annoy me because I'm the person who like to arrange thing ahead of time, and then they don't. So we have different kind of communication and different kind of planning. So word that I used because I was annoyed with that as I use harder words, shorter, colder, not soft, and nonverbal communication. I waited. I did by my actions, like waited until the last minute to ask them anything. I didn't plan to do more activities with them. I tried to do less. I tried to make more excuses, and I plan to not do it next time with them. So yes.
Yes, that happens quite normally. Yeah, I also feel the same. Yeah, that happens.
Challenging, right? Within this period of time.
Yes.
Actually, before I come, can you hear me? I had a very challenging situation happen in me because I had a misunderstanding maybe with a classmate. I'm not going to tell the name, right? Just a situation. It could be a classmate or anyone. The point is because I have been dedicating my life into meditation. Within the 6 years, I didn't go anywhere. So I just stay inside the house to do the contemplative isolated meditation. It's hard to tell and explain anyone around me, even including my family or friends, why I cannot come outside or even here. But the teacher here are very understanding, say understand. So even I study online, that will be fine for them. So normally I used to use polite words and respectful words to anyone around. But the point is sometimes happens is misunderstanding is hard to control. Because no matter how hard I say, because if the other person understand that how the procedure of meditation, we have different level. And when we are doing isolated, that means we have to isolate everything. We have to let go everything. So we just stay inside and quietly and do the practice. But I think maybe I'm too nice. Sometimes I make a determination, okay, I wouldn't go outside. I just stay in the temple. But situation happened last week. The classmate said, no, you have to come. It's polite to come. I said, okay, you are right. It's polite to come. I know, but my situation is hard to explain, you know. And then the point is like on that time, I make a decision. Okay, I try to come here. But the point is totally terrible, the result, because I used to stay in the temple. I practiced the Dudanga, like not sleeping, not only one day, but until 4 to 5 days maximum. I did count it as like 120 hours. But if I'm in the temple, I will be safe. I wouldn't have any problem at all. But if I come outside, I see many people even I went to, how can I say, once time a year, I'll go to the immigration to extend my visa. I go to the mall. When I go to many people in immigration, I feel so terrible headache. I cannot control myself. I do not know why happening this way. I asked my teachers and why it's like that. He said, of course you change the environment and the energy is totally different. So it's normal for you. So I keep very hard. I say, okay, I want to be nice to everyone. I want to do whatever respectful way. So I did very hard. But the situation is like, I face this difficult to explain to people because people, if they are not in this area, they do not know what I'm doing. So I just keep quiet and just be nice and to everyone. And if you ask me what I'm going to do next time, I think I wouldn't come out within the period I'm practicing. I wouldn't come out to the society, like to outside the temple during this timing of practice. That's why it makes me feel that, okay, maybe something would change after that. It will be better because I need the transition period of to adapt how to come back to the society and meet people, but not in the middle of the practice. That's why I feel so uncomfortable and feel headache or many things happens. I didn't sleep even before I come here, like 2 or 3 days. That's why something happens to me, like suddenly changed. That is exactly the energy difference, right? I cannot do things like perfectly when I do it normally, but it's like something I have to try my best to do. Yeah, just an experience. I'm fine. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Madalena, for your sharing. And yeah, it's quite a challenging situation that I think many people are facing that. Sometimes we don't want to hurt the others. Sometimes we want to be respect to the others, but it's just feel difficult to communicate. And also we have to maybe keep quiet. That is a non-verbal communication that we are maybe taking that in our passive communication. But I don't think that's what we really want. Yeah.
I think you don't mind me speaking, right? Am I okay to speak? I think Maya, knowing you and being in the temple with you, I think your communication is fine. You're very knowledgeable about mindfulness. I've experienced that. But I think because you've been isolated for so long, and then when you come out into a harsh environment, which the world is harsh, I think it's hard for you. And I think what needs to be done is you start opening up slowly and going and communicating with people outside of the temple slowly, just like 10, 15 minutes, and try and get back in when you're ready, try and get back into the world like that. Because at some point, I imagine you want to come back in, right? But it's too abrupt for you to have been in silence for that long and isolation in that length of time. I mean, we all experienced it through COVID, right? But 6 years and then coming out abruptly into the environment could probably, I can imagine, is quite difficult. Okay.
Thank you for Carol sharing. Maybe keep that first. Because of the time, so we will continue first, then reserve some time for Ajahn. Thank you for sharing. And I think it's very a good example of when we talk about the mindfulness speech. During the stressful situation or conflict, we often lose our temper or communicate emotionally and impulsively. This usually leads to negative outcomes and increased stress. In this situation, we often act and speak automatically and reactively without being fully aware of it. So you may have noticed this in your own experience while completing this exercise. Practicing mindfulness speech will enhance both of our verbal and non-verbal communication. When facing a problem or conflict with others, we often automatically and unintentionally accuse them by using you message. You message, that means like we are saying things like you are always on your phone, you never do this, you never do that. And this message carry negative connotations and make the other person feel criticized, accused of doing something wrong or order around. This usually leads to a negative defensive reaction and reduce the chances of finding a solution. In the opposite of you message, that is I message. What does I message mean? By using I message, we can express how we feel or what concern us without pointing fingers at anyone. I think Madalena just showed us how to use I message when expressing her true feeling to us, and also Carol really listened to the feeling of Madalena and show her careness to her, and also understand your situation on that. I think that's a really good example of I message using. And this you can see by this example, it helps the other person understand us better without feeling offended, without feeling unrespected as you may concern. These skills can be developed also during how we can do that. I think Carol must be very emphasized and with compassion on that, and also mindfulness to listening what Madalena saying. So can really hear and understand that. And also we can develop that during our daily practice with the mental rehearsal. Well, we mindfully review our communicative behavior and make adjustments. So I would like to invite you for a few minutes to practice tranquil meditation, then to move to next section. We will practice tranquil meditation for a while. Afterwards, we will visualize a more positive and mindful way of communicating while partially observe our breath. Now, we will start with the short tranquil meditation. Sit comfortably and straighten your back. Put your feet on the floor and your hands on your lap. Take 5 to 6 deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of your breath touching your nostrils. Determine on which side of your nostrils you can sense your breath best. Observe your natural breath in that area. If thoughts arise in your mind, acknowledge them, but do not follow them. Return to continuously observing your breath. Do this every time you notice thoughts coming to your mind. Now, we will practice mental rehearsal. Recall the same situation that you just write down for the challenging situation. It may often causes problems or conflicts between you and a loved one. Visualize all the details of these interactions. Meanwhile, continue to partially observe your breath while noticing your thoughts and feelings in that situation. Next, visualize yourself communicating more mindfully and positively. Imagine the words you could use and how you might interact with each other while continuously observing your breath. With regular practice, both your verbal and nonverbal communication will improve. You can also use iMessage to express your feelings mindfully in your mind. This will help the other person understand you better and feel less offended. Now you can slowly open your eyes and do open eye meditation. Look past your nose and continue observing your breath for a while. Now let's get back to another exercise after the mindful practice. So you will get another form. During the mental rehearsal, you visualized a more mindful and positive way of communicating with a close person in a difficult situation. Based on this experience, take notes on how you can adjust your communication in similar situation in the future. Also same here, the left is what you could say instead for the verbal communication. And for the right, how you could communicate with non-verbally. And also another question in the bottom, what changes and result would you expect? And we have 2 minutes for this exercise. "30 seconds. Okay, I I saw many people write a lot and a lot different with the previous exercise. So maybe anyone would like to share. We have maybe we have 1 to 2 person for sharing. Anyone would like to share?
Yeah, so my challenging situation was getting dragged into political discussions with my mother because I just don't agree with the vast majority of things that she says. And I don't think it's grounded in evidence. That's the annoying thing, is because when you take pains to understand these things and someone's telling you the same things that they told you 20 years ago, it gets a little bit tiresome. So the things that I could communicate non-verbally well, sometimes I remove my eye contact. I'm like quite dismissive when I'm showing that I don't agree. So I can keep my body facing them and try and maintain eye contact. And then when it gets uncomfortable, just use like partial awareness of the breath to just settle it down. Nod and try and seem like I agree, even though I don't agree. And the statements that I could use, rather than, because one of the issues that I had was like, one of the things I always say when I want to when I think I'm right, I'll go, that's the reality. And it kind of shuts a conversation down. So maybe I can use statements like, as I understand it, or from what I've read. So it kind of doesn't implicate the person, shut the person out. Or I can say, when I disagree, I can say, I understand why you would think that, and try and understand the perspective. There'll probably be less arguments, less dropped calls, less awkwardness, and probably it would actually reduce that kind of conversation, because sometimes with conflict, we have the conflict, it's never resolved fully in the mind, especially when it's ended prematurely. So we just come into the next interaction like, you know what it is? If this person says this, I'm going to say this. And we build up all these little mental ammunition ready to go into the next conversation. But if we try and find some kind of agreement, or at least show a kind of agreement, then we don't start carrying all this ammunition and guns for the next conversation. We just go, okay, we finish the topic here. I understand where you're coming from. And then in the future, that reduces that kind of conversation, and then probably reduces that kind of conflict, because, you know, we're not trying to win the next time. We're just like, okay, whatever. Next conversation is about something else.
Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing, and very lovely and instructive some comments on that. Yeah. Thank you for the your comments on that, and I think it's very instructive. And also, I'm looking forward for your try. If you have any update, I would love to know.
Okay.
Any other one like to share? We have maybe one person more if you would like. It's fine if you don't want.
Okay, so I will share. The situation I choose is my boyfriend, because he. Why? Why do you laugh? Because my boyfriend is so sensitive. He also study about Buddhist psychology counseling for him for the last year, and whenever he's talk with his parents, they when after talking he also feels sad, disappointed, and it looks like the trigger many emotion and negative thoughts in himself. And when I talk with him at that moment, after talking with parents, I also have some mistake. For example, last night when we talk with each other, and he share his feeling, but at that time I just want to help him, and I share about the negative thoughts and connect between negative thoughts and negative emotion and behavior of parents. But at that moment he said no. At that moment he didn't want to know more about that. He just wanted me to listen. Yeah, so from that conversation, I think the thing I can change at the moment is about the attentive listening, and try to help him to this is like the is help him to share his feeling, his emotion, and appreciate the thing he did at the he have did already done in his view. It's not make him down like parents say with him. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Seems we all got some inspired feeling from the practice, and also happy to hear that it looks like your boyfriend is very meaningful to you, so you are very devoted to do something to improve the communication. I think that's also the motivated for us to do the practice in this way. And for today, we also got some homework for this session. Just pretending I just printed out. Yeah, we got two homework. One is same as the previous session for the practicing mindfulness in daily life, the column in like this. Yeah, and also we got a new one is for taking note for applying mindful communication and daily review to do the this kind of communication practice so that we can get the benefit from it and we can improve our relationship with our beloved one and enjoy the compassion and love each other more and more. And I really thank everyone to attend for today's, because when we are making ourselves better, we are also making the life, the world better as well. Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you for both to conduct excellent session of session 6. Let's see it together. I asked for maybe 15 minutes late to make you understand how to conduct this session when you need to when you have opportunity to do by yourselves. So please open the session 6 on the first page. I will quickly go to the session overview. Session overview on the first page.
93.
Yeah. 93.
Yeah, page 93.
Yeah, 93. Yes. Okay. The first two activity is the same. Conduct meditation session as a review and then review of the homework. Yeah, we skip this because limit of the time. So Carlo start with number 3. Explain the principle of both verbal and non-verbal communication from the refer to the first part of section 3.1. You can see it later. Instruct the client to practice normal communication and let them share their observation and feeling afterward. Refer to skip 1. This if you go to the skip 1, on which page is that? Skip 1. Yeah. 101, I think.
100.
Yeah, 101. Carol, you do conduct people to practice communication and focus that people need to develop eye contact and attentive listening posture, for example, noting. That is the very important part of the communication that some people just forget to apply this. So it's very important first to develop good communication skill. Yeah, for example, attentive listening. And then Carol evaluate, assess. Wow, after the practice, asking the speaker, did the listeners listen attentively? How did you get that feeling? So people will know that when people have eye contact, nodding, it will help the other the communication partner easily to explain or to tell the story. This is in the sometimes we explain to the group that this is the trust relationship. When you have attentive listening, you develop trust, and people will easier to explain even difficult thing to you. Yeah, that point. This keyword is very important. Developing trust because of attentive listening, and then you need also the second part to ask the listener, did you understand the feeling of the speaker and how? Because when people develop trust, they can explain, and when they explain, they express some non-verbal communication showing their feeling. For example, anger, frustration. So it's very important to evaluate this part also. Not only the speaker but the listener, that they get the feeling of the communication partner. And the second question is that how did the speaker feeling affect you? That means in human relationship, when one have emotion, it usually affect the other one into two different way. We call in psychology, we call bias. No? That means if you feel the same, you will be biased in the way that you become in the same side of that person. Or if you feel disagree a lot, you will have the position against that person. So this is a very important part that you must not miss in the assessment, both the speaker and the listener. All right, and then explain how to communicate mindfully and practice mindful speaking by singing a song. So this is that I interrupt a little bit. That to sing a song is like to speak, and to speak mindfully is quite difficult comparing with mindful listening, as I also explained. No? Because when you speak, your brain works a lot to think ahead, to select some word and so on. So and more important is that your breath change during conversation, during when you speak. The out breathing become your speech. So you have only now and then in breathing. So but this is why mindfully speak is quite difficult. So people need to practice first by singing a song, and they can see that happy birthday to you is the out breathing. Out breath change to the song, and then they will in breathing a while, and then the next part of the of the song, like this.
What if the client doesn't sing? What if they don't want to sing?
It's just an exercise.
What if we do it? So say for example, like if you're in a group, like the first thing you think is, what if nobody sings? What if the participants don't sing the song? Do we have an alternative practice that we can use that might be more comfortable for?
Why? I want to know why they don't sing. Why they don't want to sing?
Because I'm just like overly conscious of like the Western mind. They will feel embarrassed, maybe not want to sing.
Yeah,
we don't even sing.
This is why we choose the song Happy Birthday, because it's the most simple song around the world. Even the Thai people who can speak a little bit English, they also can sing.
What I'm saying is, like, in a group environment, I only know just from experience in the group environment if people don't participate. Say, for example, if I'm taking this into, I don't know, a young offenders or prison type environment where you would naturally deliver something like this. If I've got a group of people on probation waiting to get out of prison and trying to do some good things, you laugh, mate, but this is where it's used. So don't laugh about it, because but it just comes across rude, bro. Like I'm trying to give a realistic situation. For example, in the UK, we have schemes to help young people who have committed crimes reintegrate into society. So if I'm sat in a room in a circle like this with a bunch of boys who are in there from GBH or armed robbery or these kind of things, because that's the area I grew up in, I'm not going to get them to sing happy birthday. The ego is going to be too strong. It's not going to allow you. Do you know what I mean? They'll be like, doing, like, that's the attitude. So when you're dealing with those difficult personalities, what alternative can we use?
You can ask them which song they want. because
Yeah.
it's just a practice. If they
Can we
don't,
use? Can it be like spoken word as well? Can we like? Do we get the same effect?
it's
Mm.
it's two steps. The first step, try to learn that when you say something, it is the out breath. So to become mindful, you all can only mindful with your in breathing. That is only the objective of singing the song. And then you can apply by second time, let A and B talk and listen mindfully together. So it's a next step. The first step is that underlying of the mindfulness therapy is that let people learn step by step.
Yeah.
So people learn first step, mindful speaking by singing the song. Second step, they A and B talk again, mindful listening, mindful speaking. And then third step, applying into the real communication.
So the focus is basically, as long as the practice gets them to realize that you're only aware on the in breath.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
It's not
how. It's not
to be
about
this
the song. Like okay.
If
That's
people
okay.
happy to do different way, it's all right.
Yeah.
You are like that way. But in my own experience, usually people cooperate because they want to learn according to the process. They want to learn that what you need to explain first that singing the song is like speaking. It's the same way. So you can observe now and then in breathing, help you to speak mindfully. So just practice that. And then when people speak that, when they do A and B again mindfully, then they can get the skill very easy. That is the point. Because my mindful speaking and listening is for some people quite difficult, no? Because when you stand mindfully, holding the mind mindfully, it's very concrete. But to speak and listen sometimes is more difficult.
So singing a song is an exercise, right? Do you have any other exercise that we can use, like from your experience? Do you have any other exercise? Because we don't really know.
The point is that we try to make the process step by step and don't take time a lot. So to learn that you can mindful speaking by mindful of your now and then inhaling is very easy by this way. Yeah, it's the most is one of the easiest way to learn how to speak mindfully. But it's just the exercise to learn, because after that you need to handling again and listen and speaking mindfully. This is the real exercise. That is just a small lesson to learn that you can observe your in breathing during your speaking. Yeah. Okay. And then you ask the same role, no? A talk, be listening, but now mindfully. So and then you ask what is the difference. That will help people to understand that it's totally different when you mindful listening and you mindful speaking. And then the next step, you reverse role to have to give everyone opportunity to practice both sides as mindful speaking and mindful listening. So it's altogether 3 times of pairing. The first time you pairing A and B as a speaker and listener for normal communication, to learn listening attentively and to learn how to observe non-verbal communication. This is the first round. Then you introduce mindful communication, practice mindful speaking. Then second round of A and B. A still speaking, B listening, but this time mindfully. You missed this during the if the manual don't make you understand correctly, is we will improve it. But the intention is that you need to repeat the role first to see the difference between normal and mindful communication. And then the third round, you switch the role to allow them to practice both mindful communication and both mindful speaking and listening. So that is the point. Yeah, is that all right? So you speak, you conduct 3 rounds. Yeah, mindful communication AB, no, normal communication AB, mindful communication AB, and then mindful communication of BA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can quietly lead the menu again. I think it try to explain in this way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you ask people to become mindful communication, you don't do the long meditation, very short one. Just in the menu say 30 seconds of closed eye and 30 seconds of open eye. Just that. Don't do body scan or something like that, because it will make people have a very long interval to try the communication. So just a very short one to prepare themselves to become mindful. So you introduce, for example, 30 seconds of closed eye, and then 30 seconds of open eye, and then let people communicate mindfully. That is the point. Mm-hmm. Is that all right? Okay. And then the next page will explain what about do. So it's about apply mindful communication into interpersonal relationship. So it begins with thinking about story that you recently have problem with someone in your close relationship. Then you write down the first assignment, telling a little bit that when you get emotion, your fundamental consciousness will react suddenly. It's automatic communication and usually bad one. Yeah, and then you introduce them that mindful communication can be very helpful. So why not do mindful communication in the same situation? So you ask people to do mental rehearsal of the same situation, but now try to be aware of your breath, and then thinking that if you mindful speaking and listening using iMessage, using mindful non-verbal listening, non-verbal communication, then what will be difference? So you write down the second assignment and then discuss among the group, and then give the homework. And this time they have 2 homework: the normal homework that they sit, and then the second homework about what happened with the communication in every day. Yeah, is that all right? Yeah. So if you run this session by yourself, it's go on like this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both try to create group learning by create group interaction. That's very good. Yeah, and this will be one part of the successful group therapy. You need people to share. Yeah, and then go into 3 steps. Yeah, people get understanding from sharing that it's automatic, but when you speak normally, but it will be different when you speak or communicate mindfully, something like that.
Like in excuse me, in section 3 point in section challenging conversation, take it as example in page 104. So we got the previous exercise and the afterward exercise, and so at the previous exercise also we do the same the questioning in the 3 stage, because I feel a little bit difficult, like because I want to conduct to the mindfulness point. So like applying in daily life, that maybe I more easy to do in the afterwards section exercise. I'm not sure.
And, actually, you can link to the homework. That when people do homework, people will have second homework that they will apply their daily life and write it down. You may collect the people, the one I collect you.
Yes.
Say the page.
The page 106. No, excuse me.
There are one miss. One long instruction.
Yeah, 106 in
One-
the
yeah.
script. In the bottom of the script, the number 6. Now we will practice mental rehearsal. Recall a same situation.
You cut the number 5 out. There are no open eye. From closed eye, and then you go to mental rehearsal. So number 5 is not correct. You cut it out. That is only that.
And also this one, you told me to add the same.
Yes, and
number 6.
and lead the first line of number 6. Lead a situation. You must say recall a situation, recall the same situation, because it's the same situation of the first one. This is the same situation, not recall a situation, recall the same situation. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. During your lunch break, everyone who conduct any session, please see. Yesterday I sent you the assessment form. You can check your practice and then lead the discussion on our review in the afternoon. So the afternoon is a way that we go through 7 sessions. I sent you the assessment form, and then you, during the break, you have time again. You can review your practice of your own session. And then when I review each form, I will ask you to make some suggestion, observation on your practice. No, sorry. You can see it online. Yeah. Okay, see you at 1 o'clock. Yeah.